Hey guys, and welcome. Just 2 days ago, someone under the name of Hot Fiery Potato came into my Discord and said that my full Toad build was absolutely easy and it was really easy to get a victory with it, and it wasn't that impressive. But he suggested that I should indeed do a full motorbike build, saying that it would be a far better challenge. So guess what? Challenge accepted. With the full Noblar build and full Toad build, I'd managed to win both my games first time, and I was a bit worried I was becoming some kind of god, duck, or deity. There's been a lot of signs pointing towards it, so I thought, you know what? I would give this full motorbike build a go, and I would try it just the once to claim victory, and this is that battle. We'll see how it goes. So we have a load of skull cannons slotted all the way through the front, motorbike, heavy metal, rock and roll, baby, just unleashing hell upon the enemy from afar. We also have double blood reapers. These guys are going to win their blood thrones here, as well as a herald of Khorne, bringing all the goodies, of course, because we need that punch where we can get it. And these guys look so freaking awesome, and we are going to be riding Sons of Anarchy style towards the enemy battle line. Our opponent is going to be Kislev. They're coming in with the rather competitive double elemental bear. This is something you see very common in land battles. Those of you who are fans of domination games might be a bit confused by this, but elemental bears are very often picked against demon factions with Kislev. We then have triple Zargard in the middle, triple Ice Guarded Glaives, who are going to be a massive problem for me. Probably the scariest units in my enemy's build. And we also have a Boyer Basic Lord on the foot there, which is pretty cool to see. And you can see here the Elemental Bear is getting his arse lit on fire. There is not much you can do up against this many motorbike fumes being launched towards you. And now the Blood Shrines are getting down and dirty involved with the enemy infantry. However, the Ice Guard with Glaives are decimating my characters. This is really scary stuff, so I'm attempting to pull back as quickly as possible. One elemental bear is full health, driving into the heart of my motorbike, so you pop some wheelies and get the hell out of there. The other elemental bear is really suffering quite badly. He's a large target, which makes up for the skull cannon's lack of accuracy, and we are wanging this guy from all angles. He is not enjoying it whatsoever, down to 2,800 HP at the moment, and that is going to be dropping relatively quickly there. About 400 HP dropped from one successful shot. Quite a few misses still, but hey, if we hit him enough, we should be able to drag him down. Our characters have rotated round to the right-hand side. Look at the unnecessary damage we've taken on the Blood Reapers. So much work has been done by the Ice Guard, so I'm trying to focus them down where possible, and we're also starting to dwindle a little low on ammunition, which of course is a pretty terrifying sight indeed, because we need the ammunition to drag down the elemental bears. I do not want to fight them in hand-to-hand combat, but one bear down, one bear to go. Now, luckily for me, the mighty skull cannon does have a way of replenishing ammunition, and that is by being in glorious hand-to-hand combat, and there's a lot of troops I can farm here to try to get more ammo. The mighty Herald of Khorne, as well as Blood Reapers, are just charging through the Ice Guard, looking to run them over as much as possible and bounce between all these units, and the motorbikes are on their way. I have to overwhelm the Ice Guard, otherwise they will pick apart my units and destroy us all. We do have the Locust of Wrath going down, boosting up our melee attack, hopefully allow me to carve through the Ice Guard that little bit quicker, and in come the Skull Cannons, pushing through, looking to run over as much enemy infantry as possible and save up that juicy ammunition that we can then use in the latter stages of the battle on the mighty bears. But look at the wheelies popping the Ice Guard, twirling and dancing those glaives and arcs of icy death. But I am still mighty. The motorbikes shall push through, exploding and severing the limbs with each big old skirt of the wheels. One Blood Reaper seems like he might be going down. The Boyer is trying to get control of these elite guards here and lead his people into victory. It looks like he may be able to get down this one nasty Blood Reaper, who's looking very, very weak indeed. But all the Ice Guard is starting to waver. Of course, that Kislev blood runs pretty strongly through their veins, and they are going to be fighting it to the bitter end here. Elemental Bear has now got involved in the action once more. So now that the Elemental Bear and the Zargard have managed to catch up, we're going to push all the way through as much as possible, force click our way through our motorbikes, and then we can turn and burn up some of that ammunition, firing once again predominantly into the Elemental Bear. But the longer I'm out of the fight, the more damage, of course, the Ice Guard can do with their bow fire if I let them. So I'm going to have to get pretty aggressive still nonetheless. And yeah, the Herald of Khorne leading his people to safety for now. Skull Cannons do turn and just shoot into the Ice Guard, and it looks like they miss and actually end up hitting some Zargard. But hey, when you're actually so bad, you may hit other enemies as well, so there's always a bit of a plus on that as well. We do come in with a bit of a boon. I believe we are buffing up our troops where possible, though we are being caught there by a frostbite. But moving around, and just decimating the Ice Guard where possible. Balance Power is currently against us, but it ain't nothing but a thing. And the mighty Blood Reaper is trying his best here alongside the Blood Reaper and the Herald to circle the Elemental Bear. We're hacking at its legs, pulling at its icy fur, and just generally trying to annoy it, whilst the Ice Guard break and flee, betraying Mother Kislev and run in to save their own skins. You hate to see it. And our Skull Cannons, there's still plenty of them. Looks like we're buffing up as well right now with a Horn of Khorne, increasing our melee attack to really run over the enemy infantry. And all of the Ice Guard are starting to flee. You can see one unit here down to 19 troops, the other 14, and one is barely clinging on in the middle. Unfortunately, the Skull Cannons did sometimes, when you told them to go away, didn't like following orders, and they just kind of ran away like this. So this is definitely still a bug, I think, on the Skull Cannons. I'm trying to click them to come back, and they're like, nah, we're good. But eventually they do listen. It doesn't seem to last too long. They do suffer a little bit from that Soul Grinder run to the edge of the board glitch. The mighty Skull Cannons continue to fight. Big shots smacking the Elemental Bear in at the side of the face. Unfortunately, our Herald is getting really badly caught up here, which is pretty bad play by me. The Herald certainly has not been allowed to get this weak, because it's going to cause quite a few problems in the late game for me. If he breaks and dies, my leadership could go all over the place. Now, the Elemental Bear is continuously being popped at by the Skull Cannons, who are doing some nice damage when they connect. They don't always connect, unfortunately. A lot of my Skull Cannons are now moving back here to chase off the Ice Guard, try and shatter them from the battlefield, and all the while replenish that juicy ammunition as we circle, almost cavalry-like, where they kind of canter around, throwing arrows in. We're bikes. We're a little bit more metal, a little bit more swaggy here on this channel, and the Elemental Bear is being slowly brought down. Balance Power is still in the middle at the moment, as we do run out of ammunition once more. We're going to be hunting down the Ice Guard, and let's speed this up a little bit as we simply chase them all down and replenish our ammunition where possible. Likewise, we're going to be cycle charging to our heart's content, really trying to break off the Tsar Guard. Now, of course, they do have that by our blood Kislev ability, so they're going to be standing and fighting consistently. But every time I swoop in, I am buffing my troops with the Locus of Wrath, or trying to use my faction ability, and we are able here, looks like, to break off all the Tsar Guard, but that certainly doesn't mean it is the end of the fight. In fact, they managed to rally pretty damn quickly, due to the fact, of course, they do have that ability where they become unbreakable for a while. Now, the Elemental Bear is doing some really nasty breath attacks. I'm attempting to get up and over the hill. Unfortunately, the Herald of Khorne, not the fastest anymore. He's pretty damn exhausted. It looks like he's winded at the moment, which means he's running a little bit on the fumes, kind of running out of the glorious Mad Max power, and is rather susceptible to those breath attacks. And I think the Elemental Bear still may have another one left in the tank. However, the Tsar Guard, they do not have much left in the tank. They are very beat up and low. Balance Power still pretty much dead even. Some Ice Guard are rallying back to the cause. The Tsar Guard continue to try to hold tight and get nice and close to Elemental Bear, which they think would protect them. But so much fire has been spurted forth from these motorbikes. And yeah, the Tsar Guard don't like that too much whatsoever. You can see multiple of the units are starting to break, despite stand your ground currently being popped on them. And once again, the bike's going to continuously to fall back, save up that ammunition, and shoot in to the Elemental Bear to drag the beastie low. And big shots clattering into the flank of it there, as we once again come in with our glorious cycle charging. Our Liege Lord doth still liveth, which is pretty good news, of course. He's floating around, not really wanting to commit too much to the fight, and I have all this juicy ammunition. You see people here, I see ammunition farming. I'm going to be going over there, running them over, trying to get as much ammo back as physically possible to fire one or two last big shots into the face of this Elemental Bear as we get ready for the final showdown of Ultimate Destiny. And here we go. So a big shot does come in from the Skull Cannon, which clips the Elemental Bear, dragging it down to 2.8k HP, but it retaliates. Big breath attack goes down onto the Herald, doing massive work onto him, which is certainly not nice to me at all. I do get nice and close, though, to pop Locus of Wrath, and then quickly try to retreat back. I really don't want to crumble, but it looks like I don't have too many options. So we are going to charge into the fray, looking to get some rear and flank attacks into the Elemental Bear, and hopefully drag its attention. I want my opponent to be attacking my Lord, so I can run away and get free hits coming in by the Skull Cannons. Balance Power is in love with me right now. It's like, oh, Ducky, I'm sorry I ever betrayed you, but I do not listen to the Balance of Power. I listen to the calls of blood from my troops, and we charge in once more onto the Elemental Bear up to a silver chevron. This bear has been a nuisance in my hide, and it looks like it's down to about 1,000 HP. Herald of Khorne is barely clinging on. Looks like once again he may actually start to waver here. Victory is in our grasp, but our warriors are starting to crumble. Skull Cannon's going to fall back, those with ammunition, to pop a couple more shots into the elemental there. 865 HP on him at the moment, but that gets taken down massively to 468 as the Skull Cannons once again bound in the glorious hand-to-hand combat, shooting shots from all angles. Down to 75 HP, and the mighty beast doth fall, my lord. He realized that, this army was simply too awesome and his body could not contain it anymore. He exploded in excitement at what is inevitably going to be a glorious Khorne victory. The boy can fight. The boy is a tanky boy indeed. But 4 Skull Cannons all attacking him in one go, I don't think he's going to have the best of times. And in fact, balance of power is getting very, very close to army losses here. We're going to speed through because I'm sure you guys can know what's going to happen. He shall be broken. His body will be mounted upon our motorbikes as we charge into battle, lifting high the heads of the elemental bears. So, thank you for Hot Fiery Potato for the awesome challenge, and I hope you are impressed with this one. It was an absolute blast. If you guys have more challenges for me, please do let me know what they are down below in the comments section. So far, I've done a Noblar only challenge, a Toad only challenge, and a Bike only challenge, and I kid you not, I have done them. I've only had to play each one once. I managed to win every single time, which is honestly surprising, but these are just custom lobbies, of course, and not tournaments or ranked or anything like that. So, it's a bit random of luck of who you run into and what builds you do come in against. But this is a pretty solid Kislev build, honestly. The Ice Guard Glaives, Ice Guard kind of Death Blob with Zargon and Elemental Bears is pretty popular against demons in general. And I know a lot of demon players struggle against the Elemental Bears, and I was really impressed with the Skull Cannons against them. They did so much burst damage. So maybe Skull Cannons have a niche against Kislev. Only time will tell. They performed pretty good. In fact, I'll delve into the value of all these units in just a second. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a big fat like. Subscribe as well if you're new to the channel. Both those things help out massively, as does commenting down below what you thought of the battle. And if you enjoy these type of games, I will get back to some competitive ranked domination games and so on soon. We've been having a fun on the channel recently, playing a couple of different games and doing some pretty funny challenges ourselves. Also, loads of links in the description. Twitch, Patreon, where you can support the channel financially, and Discord, where you can submit replays, challenges, involved in live streams and events and all that juicy stuff. So our Mighty Herald, 1.3k gold value, but his real value is that Locust Arav. Buffing the melee attack of all the Skull Cannons by 40 was so pivotal and useful. 870 and 600 value on the Blood Reapers. As for the Skull Cannons, 41, 73, 22, 48, 36, and 42 kills, 1.5k, 2k, 950, 996, 1.6k, and 1.2k gold value. My opponent actually did more damage to me than I did to him, but I guess it's those broken units which were the difference. The old Boyard, 943 damage, not too shabby. 4,000 value on this Elemental Bear, going up to Silver Chevron is incredibly scary stuff, despite the one kill. The other Elemental Bear got dumpstered in the early game, unfortunately getting nowhere near its value. Ice Guard, I absolutely love them. Probably my favorite unit on the Kislev roster, as far as like thematically goes. Actually, I don't know, there's so many cool bear units, but a very cool unit nonetheless. Just shy of 2,000 value, 1,300 and 2,000 value. They performed amazing, really outdoing the Tsar Guard in the low to mid hundreds there. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.